Okay, guys, let's see what this one is doing. Please let me know if the volume, if it's doing the right thing and it's not a lot of stuff. Okay, I think we got it. It's not, it's not doing any static and skipping or anything like that. Just let me know, okay? Let me do this disclaimer so because we're starting all over again. This platform discusses any and all information that is known to the public and that our opinions of the host and guests will use sources that are unconventional and origin through conversations is in no way to be offensive to any persons, groups, or organizations. It creates open conversations. I and needed to close the gaps that topics other may not be willing to discuss. This information is alleged to others, but are our truths to have an open conversation. Okay, guys. So please, again, let me know if this video is doing the right thing. Okay, because I want to make sure that there's no static or anything like that going through and we can make this thing work tonight, okay? All righty. Again, welcome to this uh to what we're talking about tonight. Hello, hello. Let's start this thing over again and see if we can get it right, okay? Um I'm gonna try to get on these other platforms to make sure that that is coming through. All right, okay. Um, there it is. Okay, I'm gonna have to delete that one. There it is, right there. All righty, we're gonna get started here. So again, tonight we're gonna be talking about. Okay, there it is. Okay, I can hear there's no static, but we're gonna talk about some things tonight about building yourself up because of some of the things that's going on um, in this in society or in this world as a whole that we are dealing with. Oh, I have two different things on here. From what people are saying, people are doing, and what I want to do is again talk about the thing about the wokeness thing, right? And not in a way that not in a way of all of the criticizing, but I just want to give some example of some things that have been said and some things that are uh, being done. And yeah, I'm behind on trying to get this sharing. So let me get this shared. I guess I know I shared it. Okay, but oh well. So we're okay, guys. I don't know where it is. So some people might not be able to get on, but the ones that's on here, if you would just share this video, and I think I did just share it just now. Just share the video, and we'll get it going here. I thought I already shared it from the. Oh well. Okay. So, but again, I just wanted to share some things. I heard something the other day about. Oh, and Tasha is going to be on. I think when she get off of work, she said that she would come on. We're just going to change the time to 7:30, and then from 7:30 to 8, I'll be on and might have somebody else on here, and then we'll bring then Tasha come in at uh, at 8, and we'll continue. The conversation with building yourself, regardless of what's going on in this world, that you still have to be who you are and continue to educate yourself, continue to be you. in all that in all that you do. Okay. Now playing. Okay, I don't think I'm sharing this. Okay, post it. Okay, there it is. Okay, I'm gonna get this thing right. I'm just pulling behind because I want to talk about this so bad. And Tamika, how you doing? There it is. Okay, there. Okay. There it is. Okay, I'm good to go here now. All righty. So, again, I just wanted to talk about build yourself up. Again, not thinking about a word about what's going on in this world, because we got a lot of stuff that's going on. Just our United States of America is just going absolutely crazy. But one thing that I want to talk about, and I talk to my children and my grandchildren about, even though my children are grown, but the grandchildren, they really need to know about it because it's happening in their, in their air, right? And it's about this wokeness thing, right? And I talked about it the other week, and I talked about, exactly what woke mean, and what it means is. The definition that I'm gonna give you, the definition that it says in the dictionary, then I'm gonna give you my definition, was probably basically almost the same, right? That it's alert to injustice and discrimination in society, especially racism, being informed, right? Woke is now defined in this dictionary as aware of and actively attentive to important facts and issues, right? And my interpretation of it is that, you educating yourself, right? That you keep you educated to what's going on, in the world, and but not in the conspiracies and stuff like that. You make yourself aware of things in the true form, in the way that it really is, what's really happening, right? And that's where critical thinking come in, right? I don't know what the big thing is about the critical racism, critical race theory, right? I would just think that it's the same thing as being woke, that you being aware, of what's going on in society, the injustice, discrimination, and all of that, and why it happened. Critical thinking, when you critical think things, you go by, why is this thing happening? What is it? You go deep, into, the situation, right? To go from the beginning into, here and now, what it did then, and what transpired during that time, and what is it doing right now, right? And it's basically doing the same thing in a different, century, different generations, right? And I think that sometimes when we do things like this, when people that's in charge of things, to try to take over the world, take over uh, people's independence and stuff like that, that it really don't hurt the adults, because we should have the mindset to be educated on it, and stay informed on what's going on in the world, and what's right and what's wrong, right? But when it come down to our children, they don't have it, so it's really our responsibility to make sure that our children, are aware of things, right? But what I think that it's gonna do, I don't like saying, a lot of things, a lot of different words, about, hey Tasha, about being hey girly, how you doing?
Good for you.
Hey, I did, girl, when I came on, my sound was staticky, and I had to reboot and start back over again. But anyway, so when we think like that, we make our kids not know certain things, right? And we should be educated on all things. I was just going back into the wokeness thing, and then I was going to go into building yourself up, because without knowing, you don't build yourself up. You just in the dark, and you don't know a lot of things, right? But the only way that we're gonna know is that we got to study, for ourselves. And I was just watching something on YouTube before I even came on, and they have this thing about rainbows, right? And I just be thinking, how far are we going to go with this wokeness thing, and this being miseducated on things in this world. And I always thought wonderful things about a rainbow, right? I never really put it in a bad way. So, I just went scripture, with this, like, because in Genesis it talk about, the rainbow came as a covenant to God's people, to let them know that, it's not gonna, he wasn't gonna destroy the world with water again, the way he did, and that he was gonna be, as a matter of fact, let me just read it, that he was gonna be their God, and we was going to be his people and stuff, and he was always going to be there with us. And it says, when I see the rainbow in the clouds, I will remember the eternal covenant between God and every living creature on earth. Then God said to Noah, yes, this rainbow is a sign of the covenant I am confirming with all the creatures on the earth. Meaning that God was not going to do what he did before, but the rainbow, the beautiful rainbow that we had, would be the sign that every time we see that rainbow, that is letting us know that, God is faithful at his word, and he's faithful, at whatever he says, it's in stone, right? And it take me back to, like, Proverbs, right? I did a sermon on Proverbs 14 and 15 one time, where it said, the simple will believe anything, the foolish person just believe anything, but the prudent, meaning the wise person, will order themselves when it comes to God, right? And be have wisdom and have knowledge of things, right? And I be thinking that if the people want to bring the Bible back in the school, which I really don't think they want to do, because we have some smart kids, right? That it will backfire,
Yeah.
on them when they start reading the Bible and really finding out exactly what the Bible says, that they might find themselves in a world of trouble, right? And that's the woke part that I like about it, that when you read, you're reading for knowledge, you're educating yourself. You woke up, you've been sleeping for a very long time, right? And now when you finally open that book up and you read it for yourself, now you're awake. Now you have knowledge of, what's going on. And can't nobody tell you nothing, because that's the foolish the foolish person that believes any and everything without open the Bible up, or either open the book up, and learn from yourself, so you won't be going by what other people say. This thing for yourself. And didn't
Right.
nobody tell me about it. You know how people say, grandma's prayers, brought me through. Yeah, they brought me through, but now when grandma not here, what's gonna take you farther on, right? That means that you gotta study for yourself. Now you need to start studying for yourself. You should have been studying with grandma, right? But now you gotta, study for yourself, so it can keep guiding you on, and you can keep, gaining that knowledge of knowing what can this word do for me. This word can take me on, just like it did with my grandmother. But I just feel like that we're not building, we don't have confidence in ourselves, because we're listening to so much stuff, that's going on in this world, that I just want to encourage people to continue to open the book up. And it don't have to just be the Bible. I just want you to open the books up, and read for yourself and know for yourself, about what's going on in the world and history. History it most definitely will repeat itself if you don't know about
Mm.
history. You got to know about what happened in the past. So when you see it coming up, like it's coming up now, that we'll know what to do. We know to begin to speak up for ourselves. And I see that a lot now. I see that so much now. The people are speaking up about what's going on. And the only way that you can do it is that you got to know what you're talking about. That means that
Right.
you got to open a book up and you got to read it. You got to be educated on what you're talking about. And again, that's part of building, yourself up, building your self-esteem up, to know that can't nobody put a thumb on you and stuff. Tasha, you want to say something? I know you just came in. I'm sorry. But,
Well,
you still fall in there, girl.
this I believe is good at excellent topic, and if you coming across this play, or you coming on live and you seeing the first time, I'm Tasha A. TC knows, no, do not know everything. Love sharing with people what I know. and I realized lately that I have been watching a lot of, now understand that social media, it can be a little lot. It can.
Yes.
However, it can be a learning place, because I've learned a lot of things on just from watching people's reels or YouTube, TikTok, or what have you, and conversations, whether they're involving me directly or indirectly, learning a lot of things just from hearing other people and about books. And I listen to a lot of your books, something that I have done before I started doing with the last maybe 2 or 3 years. And I just like that when you have a book, like you say, you learn a lot. I did not know a lot.
Yeah, we're having some technical difficulties here with our sound, and she's gonna finish. I just wanted her to go out and come back in so the sound could be good because she's saying something real good about what social media is saying, media is saying, out there about all of the different things that's going on um, with us, and we need to know. So we won't be pulled in, right? You know how you can be pulled into things, and that's not what we want to happen. Okay, Tasha, go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's a little better. Go ahead.
Okay. So I believe that, I didn't grow up in a home where my parents talked Black history. My dad, because he went to school, was a North Carolina A&T, a graduate, and his major was history. So was his thing. And I used to complain and be, Dad, I don't want to look at the National Geographic. I don't want to look at the History Channel. I don't look at this stuff. The way he taught me at home when it came to my work is that he taught me history. And now that I'm older, I appreciate that. I wish I have been mature enough to just listen to him and do, because I believe I know a lot more now when it comes to history. Because I mean, when I said this thing, that was thing, and he knew a lot of history. So today I was watching on, I believe it might have been talking, could have been IG. So it was an actor, a comedian. He was saying how in Canada they were talking about there were black hockey players back in 1919, if I got the year right. Back in the 18th century, black hockey players. And I'm like listening to, like, oh my gosh. So people didn't know that. Oh, and I didn't know that was something I ever heard that day. So a lot of things that, I'm finding just from reading and listening is really helping me to be educated. And that I'm learning, they weren't teaching us this in school, especially when I was coming up in school. We didn't hear this stuff. So now it's like all of this things and all of this information is coming out. And I believe it's a good thing. And so, like you said, Spirit Love, that a lot of people will open up a book when they don't open themselves to learn, be exposed to different things. Their confidence will, I would say, my opinion, would not be as high if they didn't know this information, because they also, if they in a group of people where they're talking about they don't know about it, then not going to say anything because they don't know. So, and that will bring a person's thing down or confidence, because they feel they'll at this point now feel left out, because
Yeah.
I've been there. I've been in a place like, I don't know none of it. I'm not going to speak on it. I have no clue whatsoever. So now I'm in another point where I don't feel like I'm listening now. observe. So
Mhm. Yeah, I think when now I didn't like history when I was in school. I like when I was in public school, but when I got to college, I loved history because the way it was taught, and I didn't believe what they were saying when I was in public school. And that's another thing that when you're in school, and I know a lot of kids get in trouble for this, but I think that you need to be the crier, right? That when you hear something and you think differently about it, that you should be able to voice your opinion, on it. You could be wrong, and then you can be that's how you learn, because you could think one thing, about a reading, and it could be totally different. Just like with scripture, we can, if we everybody, I'm gonna say, and I'm not gonna say everybody, but a lot of people quote scriptures the wrong way. They may quote it. I see y'all keep shining. Hey, sweetie, and and some people may quote it in different ways, right? And I was listening to just like the other day I was talking to my husband about it. When people talk about whatever is loosed in God, whatever I bind on earth will be loosed in heaven, and what I say, whatever be loosed in heaven will be earth will be loosed in earth. I mean, on earth, that script. What is that scripture? Come on, I know that
whoever
scripture. Bind
is
on
bound
earth will
on
be bound in
be bound
heaven, and
in
loose
heaven, what's loose on earth.
be losing it. Okay. That scripture is interpreted, the wrong way. A lot of people interpret that the wrong way and stuff, right? And but everybody see it in a different way. They don't take it in the contents of what, you got to think about what came before, that verse. And what they were really talking about is the people in the church that was the ones that was the community, the ones that was doing things on sinful, in the community, and how do we forgive them and stuff like that, right? And then on down under there, up under that next verse, it talked about, how many times do we forgive them, when they do wrong, in church. Do we Jesus said, 70 times 70, that we forgive them, and bring them back in the, in other words, bring them back in the family. So that's what that verse is talking about, the condemning, what people doing, because it said if somebody offend you, if you can talk about it, with amongst each others, right? Do that and solve it, right? But if you can't, go get two more people and try to solve that thing. But if you can't solve it, then bring them to the church. And then that's when they start talking about that loosing and binding,
Yeah.
and all that stuff. And there is where that verse comes in. That not that we can do anything, we can't do nothing. Can't nobody do anything but God. We can believe and have faith, that this individual will do, the right thing, right? But we don't have control over them. God is the only one that have control over them when it comes to that verse, right? And I used to always hear people say, like, during the election of the president and stuff, and how pastors was saying, I bind this and I lose this, and it's going to be from the, and they was just going on and on with that verse, but they were using it in the wrong context. It wasn't in that way, that because of what's going on down here, I got the power to say that I can control this election, and this person is going to win, and they was just using it in the wrong, content. So what I'm saying is that when you hear things like that and you don't feel comfortable with it, the best thing for you to do is go study for yourself, right?
Yep.
And what's going on, in the world with the stuff that's happening. Your best bet is to study and know for yourself, what's going on. If somebody say, we're not going to be doing this, we don't want you to say the word, gay. I'm just going to say a lot of things that's going on in the world. We don't want you to say gay. We don't want the LGBT community to do this. We don't want you to read certain books, and we want to take all the Black history classes, out, the Asian class, the Hispanic classes, and all that stuff. We want to take all that stuff. Because there's something in there that somebody don't want you to know. The old saying is that if you don't want to if you don't know something, what is it? Oh, if you want to know something, open a book. If you don't, what you learn is in the book. What is that saying? I am just all turned around today. But what you learn, is in a book. Open up the book and learn it in the book. and stuff, because if we don't, then we're going to be, left behind. Hey, ladies, thank you for being here tonight. Okay. Yeah. So you need to learn, you need to open the books up, you need to find out, for yourself, because it's going to be like this 100-year-old woman was on a YouTube thing the other day, and they said it's like Nazism again, where people were burning books during that time because they didn't want people to, be educated, right? And the same thing is going on now, where people don't want you to be educated, so they banning a lot of books. And she said, if we don't be careful, history is going to repeat itself, which it is repeating itself, because from my understanding, they have already burned some books, right? So if we continue to not be educated, then we're going to be, in that group of, just falling for anything and just moving forward because of what somebody else said, not from what you learned, but what somebody else then said, right? Open the book up, learn for yourself.
Yeah. But even if they burn the book, there's such thing as audible.
Say it again.
I said if they burn, there's such thing as audible. You can
It's
just go
who?
tap Audible app.
Oh, yeah. But you know what though? When they first started doing this, which was very smart, right? The books that they were banning, they were just selling out of, because they want to know, why you don't want me to read this book, right? And see, and that would have been the first thing that come to my mind also. If you're gonna take a book, the very first thing I'm gonna think about is, why you don't want me to read this book?
Right.
And I'm gonna order the book and see what's in the book that you don't want me to read, right? Just like the Bible, right? What's in the Bible that you don't want people to read, right? I am going to open the book up and I'm going to read for myself to see what you don't want me to read. And stuff like the book, and I already read the book about Rosa Parks, right? They took the Rosa Parks book out. I already read that. So what's so bad about, reading the Rosa Parks book, right? What's so bad about critical race theory, right? I can't even understand what's so bad about that, because critical race theory to me is like woke, like being woke on what's going on. Like I said earlier, I think I said that earlier, of what's going on, in the world. You need to be woke. You need to critically think about what's going on in this world, because again, if you don't, you're going to be messed up. You're going to be, it's going to be another like Jim Jones, syndrome again, if you don't start reading and doing things for yourself instead of listening to what other people say. Other people are telling you, what to do, but you're not trying to be educated for yourself to find out what you need to be doing and what you should know in your learning, process, right? Uh, I was getting ready to try to remember that phrase about the book. If there's something that you don't want somebody to know, put it in a book. That's what it was saying. Yeah. If you don't want somebody to know something, put it in a book, because ain't nobody reading. And we need to open up a book. You need to open up books and read for ourselves to know what's going on in this crazy world. And you know what, Tasha, even, I'm going back to the rainbow thing, because I'm just like messed up with the rainbow thing, because I love Care Bears. Care Bears are the rainbow, so I love Care Bears, right? And this rainbow, people making this so bad, it's just irritating me that people not reading, to find out exactly what the rainbow mean, because the rainbow is mentioned in Genesis and in Revelations, right? So it has to be a significance to it, that in the Bible, what they want to put back in the school and want to start
Yeah.
discussing
Yeah.
again. But you don't want to talk about the rainbow. You don't want your kids to have any dealing with a rainbow. You don't want on their clothes. You just don't want nobody to say anything, about a rainbow, because you think it belongs to a group, to a community, but it don't belong to the community. It belongs to everybody, because the Bible said that it belongs to everybody, right? So why are you trying to like place it like in one community and make it so bad, even though the community not bad, but you trying to make the rainbow mix up with the community, which what you want to make bad and stuff. But if we don't get it, we're really going to be, like messed up, and not know anything, and then not telling our children. We need to start educating our children, so they'll know, what's good and, what's not, good. And the rainbow is good all the way around. I'm just like, I just love the Care Bears, and it's a rainbow. I just love I just love the Care Bears. But I love the rainbow. As a matter of fact, one of my poems is about the rainbow, and it's basically um, talking about this, that if we begin to let people oppress us, that we're gonna start fading,
Mm.
fading out because we're listening to what everybody else say, because I did an acronym on it: remain, ambition, intuitive, and not bending, and bending to oppression, and don't think that you're worthless, right? From the bitterness of the mouths, of the people, right? When you start letting people like press you down, then you start fading away, and you're not building yourself up. You letting other people tear yourself down. So you got to know that all of these negative things that people are saying is not for your good. It's not to build you. It's to like put the thumb on you and tear you down. And you can just turn the TV on and tell that
Oh
you
yeah.
know that that people saying, they just saying that to tear you down. So what's going to build you? And I'm not saying that everybody is taking it in, but this is to people that don't that's not reading or or feel like that, oh yeah, this stuff is going on, right? This is happening, and they just conspiracies, right? It's not really happening because you didn't open the book up and find the secret that was in the book. You got
Right.
to open the book up and find that secret, right? And it's not even really a secret. I'm saying a secret because when you say that, then people run and try to open the book up and find out what the secret is, right? So you got to try to trick them to darn read a book. But
Well, you know what? I found it, honey. You ain't nobody tricked me now because I found out that there was a genre that I like. I just with that, and so it might have been a week ago what I said about my favorite book, and it's not my favorite book, and I know that might be terrible for me to say that, but it's not. But I like to read the Bible. But I feel like that I wanted to read other things other than the Bible. And I'm looking actually as you were talking, I'm with this book that I came up that I haven't read. I'm just off of what I've learned and heard about this. And like you said, you don't if you want you can. I think people now are much smarter than we used to be back in the
the
day.
what? Say it again. They
I believe
what?
people are much smarter now
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
than we used back in the day.
Yeah.
Because the world and everything is just changing like a lot.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but I know that I'm myself learning things that I wasn't taught growing up. And so I'm exposing my children to those that I'm learning. And so they look at me and they're like, oh, but see, I didn't think of my parents. They were trying to tell me certain things.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to. I was like, whatever. I ain't get it when I grow up. Guess what? I need it. I need to remember those conversations. I can remember them. Remember a pastor that I had was in my early 20s told me, said, don't ever believe everything a preacher just cause. You need to find out for yourself.
Yeah.
Read the Bible. Read books. And he made it clear. He said, in the Bible, not the only book you heard from. And I'm shocked that he said, I was like, what now? You're my pastor. You're supposed to make sure I went back. You want me not to read it. He's saying that other books that I read, that I learn from the Bible.
Yeah.
So that's what's in my head. And first started, I felt that I was reading notes other than Bible. But then when I read certain books, I refer back to the Bible. And like, is this saying something? Or to try to match it up. So that's how I believe that people, it would be, it's beneficial. Say that, beneficial.
Yeah. Yeah, it is beneficial that, people would do things like study for themselves because when you and when you like, okay, because we have a big age difference between us. When I was coming up, we didn't talk about a whole lot of things, right? And we had to learn things in ways that were not good, and but when I got older, then I knew to study and learn things so I wouldn't make so many mistakes, right? uh but now kids, a lot of kids just don't read. I be trying to make my kids read. It's something. Now my youngest son, now he's beginning to start reading now because I was reading more, I say, because I was trying to tell him something one day and he was saying something totally, you know, off word or something. I don't even remember how he was doing it, right? But after that conversation, he called me, he was telling me, Mom, I'm just starting to, to investigate things more and to learn more because I from that conversation, I just figured that, I am not educated on a lot of things, right? And I want to be educated on things. And it was really good that it was good to my ears, right? Because I want my kids to be educated on things because I don't want them to hear all of these things because it was some of the things that's going on in the politics and stuff that we was talking about and all these things that you hear, that everything just not true. People can say anything, right? And all of it's just not true. I was listening to some of the African states and stuff on there. They was talking about I think it was Rwanda. What is that? Mm, what is that thing called? Well, one of those African states, they was talking about the genociding that they had in there, and they was saying that people just don't really know, about what happened. You just going by what people said, and stuff. You're not going by, what really happened. I know what really happened, and it was one of the ones, Rwanda. That's the name
Rwanda.
of the place.
Hmm.
Rwanda. That was there, and he said, I know because I'm here, right? Because they was talking about their values and stuff. What you gonna, how you gonna promote your values and stuff. And he was telling them, you don't know what go around. You don't know what go on here. You just going by what you hear, right? You're not going by what actually happened and who was really involved in this because you want to. She was saying you want to blame it all on the Rwandians, right? But it was other people involved too that need to be in jail, as a matter of fact, right now, right? But what we saw was just the outside, of it, what the outside people were telling us about what was happening there. But, now we know the truth of what was going on in there, right? And that was one of the things that we was talking about with my young son, because we was talking about taking a trip to Africa, right? And the very first thing that came to his mind was wars and stuff, right? People killing, and all that stuff. I'm saying, what place you talking about? That's right here in the United States. It's not where we going. That stuff that you talking about is happening right here, right? And so what he did, he had to start educating himself about different countries and things, right? Instead of
Hmm.
listening to what somebody has said about Africa, right? It's some of the places in Africa is the beautifulest place in the world, to go to in Africa, right? It's not all violence everywhere. The most violence I think that's in the world right now is the war that Ukraine having and in Israel, Jerusalem, the things that's happening there, and in the United States of America.
Hmm.
It's the most violent places, right now, right? So we have to just be educated. When we're not educated, we're liable to say just about any darn thing.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. Yeah.
we have to be more aware and build ourselves up to with more knowledge about what's going on in the world, and don't take things for for what, don't take everybody's word about what's going on, especially with this wokeness thing, because I don't want my grandchildren to be dumb. I want my grandchildren to be very well educated in a holistic way, meaning that I want them to be educated in all different areas, of this world and of life and things like that, right? Not just in one thing that somebody else, one person want the world to be taught, right? No, you need to be educated in a roundabout way. Critical race theory, I think it should be taught. The 19, what is it, 16? I mean, 16, 19. I think all of those things, should be taught. I
Mm-hmm.
think that all
Yeah.
people races should be taught, so we'll know how we came about, right? And
Yeah.
how certain things happen, in the world. How in the world did what brought the people here in this native state of the United States? What brought the people here, right? Because this was all native land. So what brought you over here to take people land? And people say we don't want to talk about that, but that's what happened. You came over here and you took somebody's land, right? But you don't want nobody to know about that. You don't want that race of people to feel bad about what they did, right? No, that's history that needs to be, taught,
Yeah.
all around and stuff. Because if not, we're just going to be a dumb race. We don't want to be that. We want to be educated all the way around about what's going on in this world. And if you feel bad about it, then do something about it.
Yeah.
Don't repeat it again. Because it did happen. You can't stop it. You can't erase history because it's there. It's there in stone, right? So just teach about it, but just don't repeat what you did, right? Do better than what you did before. But don't make everybody, all of our young people, stop being not being aware, stopping them from being aware, of history and stuff.
Right.
And that's what I mean by, when I said, build yourself up to know what's going on in this world, and don't let people talk you down on what you already know. I remember when I was in elementary school, right? And I didn't do a lot of talking, but when they start talking about, Columbus discovering America, and I'm thinking about, you stepped on this land in the face of Indians. So how did you discover something? If you stepped on this land looking at somebody else that's already here, right? I almost got in trouble for that. But I was just thinking, you got to use your mind when somebody talking. You just can't let people say things and then you don't critically think about, what they're saying, to you, right? So I'm thinking, I just can't understand the concept of somebody discovering something and somebody is already there,
That
that's been
is
there.
that's I've already discovered it.
It's already discovered. They already there. So those are the things, that people want to erase. But no, you got to realize that these things happen, and it's part of history, and you just it's there. Just tell what happened again. Let your kids know, what history, what transpired during history, and just move on. That's what wokeness is to me. Being woke to me is being educated to know, what happened, not to be dumbfied, dumbified. Is that a word? Dumbified, and not knowing, and not knowing, what history is. And every time I look at my grandkids, I just get so angry because I'm thinking you're gonna deprive our kids from learning and knowing, things. And so what is it gonna? It's gonna be a trickling effect of kids just not knowing anything, don't know how to critically think about stuff. When I say, this happened, and I want you to write a paper on it or something like that, how you're not gonna have
Right.
that thinking mode and stuff. So you need to be very well, educated on that. And I know I'm just going on that, but it's really like irritated me a little bit because I really love education. I love school, right? My mother said one time, "You're going to be a full-time student." And if I had the money, I probably would be a full-time student for the rest of my life because I love learning and stuff. And I think that it shouldn't be taken, from us. And I just pray that we would just continue to walk through what they're trying to do to education, that we'll just walk on through it and do what we need to do, and that's continue to open a book and learn
Yeah,
and be
that's right.
woke. Be woke, like Erica Badu said. What did she say? That Erica Dabu, I mean Erica, like what Erica said, even if your baby ain't got no money to support you, baby, I stay woke. Even though somebody don't have nothing for me, I'm gonna stay woke and do the things that I need to do to take care of myself. That's basically what she was saying and stuff. I really wanted to put that on because she did an interview after we talked about it the other week. She did an interview with someone talking about this song because she was saying that, this came from us. This that you ain't know nothing about this until you must have read something or you heard this and you start using this that you got from me and stuff, which is true because this came out in 2008. This song did
Oh,
and stuff. So yeah. So, but we got to stay woke to keep a healthy life. I stay woke. If you want to stay healthy, if you want to stay, you know, stay up on things, you got to stay woke. You can keep your eyes up and be, I told you about the word of God tells us to what is that? Oh shoot, I must be sleeping. To watch as well as pray, right? We ain't gonna just be going around praying and not even seeing no kind of effect of it, right? You need to watch around and make sure that you're safe around here. I just made that up. That you safe and pray, you know. So yeah. But yeah, Tasha, that's all. I just want to talk about that. I just want to make sure that we stay built up, especially our women, because our women are really being tortured doing this political thing, that our freedom, they won't even know when we have our period and stuff like that. And when they said that, I was just really like through. That I don't want you to know nothing about my grandbaby. That's a pedophile. You want to know when my grandbaby start her period? That is a pedophile. To keep up with young women's periods? No, come on now. Y'all need to really we need to really march on those things so we can save our children and our children's children, and way on down there, that we can make sure that our kids are being taken care of, because this place has just gone absolutely crazy when they say they want to keep up with the young ladies period. I'm like, God,
about to
wait,
make
come,
us.
huh?
That's crazy.
That's crazy. I'm telling you, that's a pedophile. Why
Mm-hmm.
you want to know that? Why? What's the reason? What's the reason behind that? You just want to
Ain't
control
no
women's
reason.
body. It ain't no. There's no reason, none at all. It's, again, I keep saying that that's a pedophile. When you want to know something that private, that's a private thing that a woman have, doing
Yeah.
their lives, and I don't think that you should be doing that. That's crazy.
They need to
But
look.
anyway,
They need to mind their business, like Ning said.
they need.
Song she wrote.
Yeah, they need to mind their business and leave women alone. Just leave us
Right.
alone and let us do what we do, what God has created in us to do. If we want to have a baby, we'll have a baby. We don't want to have a baby, we're not going to have a baby. We're going to automatically have. And some women don't have periods, and some women can't have babies, right? But if they can and they don't want to have it, that's their business. If they don't want to have, any kids, that's their choice. You do what you want to do. That's your body. That's between you and God. And in between me and nobody else. That's just, between you and God and
That's
stuff. So, okay. Yeah. Okay. I didn't done, I didn't said all of the things that I wanted to say. And then I might think of some more stuff when I go to sleep, because all of those things that's just going through my mind that is just so crazy. I have never in my life heard anyone not wanting children, or children to be educated. I've never heard that before, so I don't know. I just think it's crazy. But anyway, so tonight was about building yourself up. Build yourself up. Educate yourself. Know what's going on around you, and be the crier for not only yourself but for other people also, in this culture war that's going on, in this United States of America. Even the foreign countries saying, they don't even look at the United States anymore as as a roadmap or pattern of what they would like to be. They're looking at us now like we absolutely crazy, and it's
Right.
be true, Now they're making their own, their own, which I think they should have been doing, anywhere. Nobody else should have been taking over the other countries, especially Africa. They need to do their own thing. But yeah, just build yourself up, have confidence in yourself. Don't let nobody run over you. Open a book, read a book, know about things that's going on, in this world. Because if not, you're liable to believe anything. If you're not educated, you don't read, you just believe in everything. That's what Proverbs 14 and 15 say. The foolish will believe anything, right? But the wise person will order their steps, unto God and believe what God says. And God says that I just believe this. I might be putting words in the Bible, but God says that He want us to have instructions, right? He wants us to be knowledgeable. That's where the wisdom come in at. So I didn't make that up. That is in Proverbs and stuff. So that's what we should be working towards. Okay. All right, guys. I love you. And there's nothing that you can do about it but love me back. I love you so much that I want you to be woke. I want you to be woke. I want you to be educated about yourself and continue to build yourself up in this world. Again, because if you don't, they're gonna walk all over you. You be that crying. I mean, cry loud. You know that verse in Psalms 34, it says, I will bless the Lord at all times, and his praises shall continuously be in my mouth. I like this part right here. I will make a boastful noise. That's what you need to do. You need to be boastful about, what God has given you, that wisdom that God has given you when it comes to things like this, and move forward. And don't leave nobody behind. Grab a hold to them and bring them up to it. Make sure that they're educated on what's going on in the world, and to know who you are and who you belong to. And you belong to God, okay? And he wants you to be educated. He wants you to be educated, okay? All right, guys. Love you, love you, love you, Tasha.
Y'all know who this is? Tasha, aka ATC knows. No, I do not know everything, but I just shared a little bit with you. What I do know, building yourself up. Pick up a book, read it. You're gonna find out stuff that you know before. You can connect with me. Yep, and Spirit got her book.
Girl, what?
Yep.
Go out, get my
Suddenly
book.
Life Force on Amazon.
That's on Amazon. Go get it. The other one coming out the end of the month.
But you connect with me on YouTube. One TC knows. Don't forget to subscribe and hit bell, because I'm gonna be having some new content coming out that I'm working out. And yes, in rare form. Just so let me just go ahead and get a disclaimer. I at Tasha.knows, TikTok at TC knows, and at Facebook Tasha knows that thing. But continue to be self up. Read, listen, and learn. And that's it. Appreciate y'all for being.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Out and comment, share, and let us know if you want us to talk about something else. It's just this thing is just like we sitting at the table having a conversation. Okay. We don't know what's gonna come out of our mouths, okay? But we're
Especially
gonna,
mine.
yeah, especially Tasha. Now I'm gonna be on good behavior, because I'm gonna do like my boys when they want to talk to me. There's one of them will say, well, Mom, I don't want to talk about the Bible. I said, well, honey, you didn't came to the wrong house, because it'll always come up. Scripture always come up, and it'll be for what we're talking about also. Okay, guys, have a blessed night and be safe out there. Okay. All right. Love you guys.
Hey.